In this week's Torah portion, we learn about the incredible story of the splitting of the Red Sea. And once again, we learn lessons that we can take into our own personal lives. Shalom, my friends. This is the Kiva Gersh with Israel in 5, where we give you everything Israel in 5 minutes. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or want to keep the conversation going, please do so below in the comments. In this week's Torah portion, B'Shalach, the Jews are free, the Israelites are free, they have left Egypt, they're out of Egypt. Finally, their freedom has come and they're on their way to the Holy Land. But what happens right away, oh no, is that Paro and his team, they get together and they continue to pursue the Israelites. They run after them. They spend days pursuing them and they catch up to them. And the Israelites find themselves in a very, very precarious situation. In front of them is the sea. Behind them is the army of the Egyptians, and to the sides are a very scary and unknown wilderness, and they don't know what to do. What happens? They're told to go into the sea, and the sea will split for them. There's a couple different stories of how the sea splits, and we kind of can put them all together and say that they all kind of come together to help create the splitting of the sea. One is, of course, Moses being told by God to raise his staff over the waters of the sea, and the sea will split as a result of winds blowing all night long that, of course, were created by God. Another story found in the oral tradition of Judaism finds that there was one person, Nachshon ben Aminadav, who had full faith that God would split the waters for the Israelite people because they had no other choice. So he goes into the waters, he walks into the waters all the way up to his nose, right, knowing that God will save him and them. And exactly that's what happens. And the sea splits. And it's an incredible story of the sea splitting, the Israelites walking through, the Egyptians coming through as well. But as soon as the Israelites get to the other side safely, the waters start crashing down on the Egyptians. And finally, not only are they free, but their oppressors are gone. And in that moment, all of the children of Israel, led by Moses, started singing a song. That was their first reaction. They started singing a song. In Hebrew, we call it Shirat Hayam. It's such a beautiful and important song that they sing that it's actually part of the daily prayers of the Jewish people every single morning. Right? Now the question is asked, why then? Why all of a sudden then they started singing this song? Why did they sing a song at all? And why then? When they didn't feel happy enough to sing a song after they were leaving Egypt, after maybe even 5 of the plagues, they saw, wow, what was happening to Egypt and how their lives were totally being changed. And the answer given is that only after not only being free, but they saw that their oppressors were no longer there. It's one thing to be free, but know that your oppressors are still alive, still there, that maybe one day they'll catch up with you. But to know that they're gone, they're physically gone, they don't exist anymore, is a whole nother level of being free, not only physically free, but also mentally and emotionally free. In that moment, the Israelites felt freedom on the fullest level. And we learn from the Jewish tradition that the best expression, the strongest expression of joy and happiness is song, is song. And that's why they burst out spontaneously in this song to really reflect and to represent this high new level of joy and happiness that they achieved. In addition to that, we learn about the very famous manna that the Israelites ate for 40 years as they were wandering around the desert on their way to the land of Israel. It gets brought up for the first time in this week's Torah portion. And the manna is described and what it looks like and how it is. And it's such an amazing thing because each person was allotted their amount of manna that they needed for them and their family. And if they took too much, it would basically disappear. And if they tried to save manna from one day to the next, it would melt and disappear. Right? So God told the Israelites, I'm going to give you food every single day. Right? Trust me, trust in me that I will provide you every single day. I will give you the food that you need for each day, one at a time. Don't try to take more. Don't try to save for tomorrow. It won't work. It won't help you. Right? God was trying to instill in the Israelites this strong level of faith that they would need in their lives in general, but specifically when they came into the land of Israel, right? And there are some stories of people trying to hold on to extra manna or take more, and it didn't work. Right? They had the same amount that they would have taken if they took the right amount, and if they tried to save for tomorrow, it would have disappeared. It would have melted away. Only on Friday, they were told to take a double portion, and a double portion would appear for them, so that they can also have for Shabbat. Because on Shabbat, right, there was no going out to the fields to collect the manna. Very interesting thing was happening with this manna. And again, really is a bread of faith. It really is a bread of faith, a bread that was a food that was meant to instill in the Israelites this deep and strong level of faith, to know that God will provide, God will take care of you, right? Day after day after day after day. It was a really strong lesson that God was teaching them in a very unique kind of story and situation in the entire Torah. And again, with this faith, they were able to go into the land of Israel, right? And live in this unique land in this unique way, right? Carrying out and fulfilling the vision and the mission given to them by God. All the best, my friends. Shabbat Shalom and be well.